and Captain Dallas are dead. Cargo and ship destroyed. I should reach the frontier in about 6 weeks. With a little luck, the network will pick me up. This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off.
Ripley? I'm Samuels. I work for the company. It's about your mother. We think we may have found her, Amanda. A commercial vessel, the Anisadora, has recovered what we believe to be the flight recorder unit of the Nostromo.
Where?
Zeta Reticula.
What did it tell you?
We don't know. The unit was taken to Sevastopol station. It's proprietorial material, so the company wants it to be collected as soon as possible. Sevastopol's a supply depot in the region. It's a permanent free port facility.
I know what it is.
Transit's arranged. There's a courier ship called the Torrens heading out that way in 2 days. We're going to travel out.
We?
Me and another exec. And you, if you're willing. Look, Ripley, when this job came across my desk, I read the case history. I know why you're working in the region where she went missing. You're still looking, aren't you? I've been cleared to offer you a place on the Torrens if you want to come along. Maybe there'll be some closure for you. Ripley.
Samuels, did you wake up early?
Well, I don't really need as much sleep as the rest of you. I was just inspecting the Torrens facilities. A well-maintained ship. I realize it's a very similar model to...
The Nostromo.
Yes, M-Class.
Or saying you have to do anything. Take your time.
But close in spec.
I've worked engineering jobs on ships like this.
Of course. Is Taylor up yet? She's not a seasoned traveler. Hypersleep may have been punishing for her.
Haven't seen her. I'll go check on her. Taylor, good morning.
Ripley, it's certainly not good. I very much doubt it's morning either. Sorry. I feel like death. I don't know how you people put up with hypersleep regularly.
You get used to it.
I don't do long haul very often. Most legal execs don't travel further than the coffee machine.
I'm surprised Weyland-Yutani felt the need to send legal at all.
The loss of the Nostromo and its cargo cost the company a lot of money. It's important we find out what happened. If I can close the case with a conclusive accident report, it'll look great with my superiors. I'm sorry. That was insensitive. I realize your mother has been missing for 15 years, and you...
It's okay. We'll both get what we want, right?
Have you seen Samuels? He's probably been up for hours.
All personnel to the bridge, approaching Sevastopol Station.
Looks like we're up.
Hope you all had a restful journey.
The Torrens is in very good order for an old M-class, Captain.
She was a wreck when I bought her. Took a few years and a lot of contracts to refit. She pays for herself now.
You said we're approaching Sevastopol Station. Are we docking?
I believe your contact is Marshal Waits, is that right? I'll hail Sevastopol and arrange boarding with him.
Good. Let's get this done.
Don't worry, Miss Taylor. Routine. In and out. Connor, how we doing?
SMG loaded and calibrated. Approach vector locked.
Prep comm so I can say hello.
Channel open, Captain.
Does everyone have their briefing documents?
You can watch the approach on the monitors.
Can we see it?
Switch to monitors. Sevastopol Station.
Is that damage?
Looks like damage.
Punch up 74, tight angle.
Looks like the dry dock bay is screwed.
I can't bring the Torrens into that.
This is the commercial vessel Torrens out of St. Clair, registration number MSV7760, calling Sevastopol Traffic Control. We're carrying 3 passengers on a whale in...
Utani Bond, you're holding the Nostromo flight recorder unit. We request immediate permission to transfer the passengers port side over.
This Waits, Colonial Marshal, Sevastopol Station. Serious situation.
Hello, Marshal? Marshal, this is the Torrens. Say again? The station's comms seem pretty screwed up, so I fitted Samuel's suit with a radio booster. I can only keep the Torrens in transit for 24 hours.
You'll have heard from us by then.
Safe trip.
Stand by. My contract doesn't cover bloody spacewalks. It's the only option, and it's perfectly safe if you do what I tell you. Depressurizer. Fuck. Hating this. Just shadow me, Taylor. You too, Samuels.
Affirmative.
Fuck happened here? My God, Ripley. You're doing good, Taylor. Just keep moving!
Taylor, Ripley, hold on!
Samuels! Taylor! Respond! Anybody! Okay.
But you've also experimented a little bit with actual DMT as well, right?
Absolutely.
Can you describe that experience?
Let's take one deep breath together. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Headspace Guide to Meditation, now streaming, only on Netflix.
Listen, that's really crazy. This is my partner, right? This is my partner. I'm doing the DMT. And my partner's right here. And then I feel I just feel like the sun opens up and I feel like the fucking, boom, the sun opens up and the air comes out. I said, do you see that? You see what? I said, stop fucking with me. I know you see this. Right? He said, Mike, I don't see shit. I said, stop fucking with me. You see this shit. He said, Mike, I know.
I've heard it's like
I think they're playing tricks on me. I think because my crew likes to prank me all the time. Right. And I think they're pranking me. I said, man, I know you see this shit, don't you? He said, Mike, I don't see what you're
How
saying.
long did that last?
Last for a minute.
What? Literally 1 minute? Not like...
No, for a minute. Sometime probably 20 minutes.
Aren't all psychedelics like that, though? Aren't all psychedelics... Like, if you take one too many mushrooms, the sun opens up.
Not like that. I don't think like that.
Like
Okay. We also do the toad. We experience with the toad.
Yeah, you said so what do you smoke? You smoke the venom on the back of a toad, or how does it work?
But it's not like the rest of the drugs you're smoking, you're active. You can't be active. As soon as you take a hit, boom, your soul goes here and your body goes here.
Oh no.
Do you here in the United States for that as well, or is that a Mexico?
Well,
Because that's Mexico,
I've done it
right?
in Mexico, yeah.
Chihuahua. I think Chihuahua is one of the precincts, but
I did it in Mexico.
Crazy, and that's like the highest. That's the highest, right? Like, can you go above the toad? I mean, that's the highest.
They said no, but the lizard tail is very close. The snake venom is very close. The white cobra is very close.
How did you figure this out?
What's the history behind? Like, who was the first person
a snake and let's smoke it?
Like,
no history told us what happened. This is what happened. They saw an animal attack. So I forgot what the animal was. It was an animal prey attacked it. And it started acting weird and trembling, and it was out. And they thought it was poison. Then in 20 minutes, he got back up and just took off. And so the Native Americans saw that, and they saw that he didn't die, that he woke back up, and I guess that's how they experienced.
That actually makes sense.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
That actually makes sense.
What is that feeling like for you to leave your body? Like, do you actually feel like you left your body?
Hey. It's the most scariest experience you'll ever go through in your life. You know that you're dead.
Hey man, I don't want to do that.
Yes you do. Yes you do.
I do want to do that.
Listen, in life, do you just want to be you right now? Do you want to be this way till the day you die? No, you think
I'm working on it.
No, but do you want to be like this till the day you die? The same mentality, the same way you think about life, the same way you think about humanity right now. You want to stop right here and think.
No. I want to move forward.
Well, that's what the toad does.
It actually makes you move sideways, not forward. I say this all the time to people. I say, what if someone told you that there was a way to see life in a completely different way, where up wasn't up and right wasn't right and everything was different? You wouldn't want to at least experience that two times before you pass?
Listen, let's go deeper than that. You want to experience being God for a few minutes? That's what it does. Mm-hmm. Introduce you to God.
What do you think?
On a one-on-one basis.
That's what people say, Georgie. Listen, I'm not encouraging. Obviously, as a person in my standing, I have to actually.
Adam bit the apple and it didn't go so well after that.
I've done it 16 times.
The toad? What do you mean? Will you see God? Like you have a legit, like you see him, or you're equal to him?
His
him.
Okay, so you're equal to him.
No, you're not equal to him. You are him.
Got it.
I don't think George is gonna like that. He's a very
very
big Christian man.
No, this is bigger than religion.
Right.
This is
And also, I don't.
This is dying. This is dying. This is letting you know. This stuff you see your ancestors. You want to meet some of your ancestors. You want to meet people who died. Meet something you love. Handle with the toe. It takes you way back, buddy.
This is scary shit. I'm not sure I want that smoke.
Is there any?
I don't know if I can handle it.
Is there any like, God forbid, like if you do like a tiny bit too much?
You can't die.
You can't die from it. Oh, okay, so it's just a for sure experience.
And if you look at it medically, it takes people off of drugs, stop people from being schizophrenic.
Depressed, all that stuff, yeah.
The snake does that as well. So does the toad, the snake, the lizard, the centipede.
You mentioned this experience.
Snake.
Feeling like your soul leaves your body.
No, my soul did leave my body.
So I have a question because you're pretty well versed with psychedelics. What is the soul?
Excuse me?
The soul. What is it? What if you had to describe it? What is the idea of a soul?
The soul is scientifically they weighed the soul because they waited for somebody to die. They weighed him before he died, and when he died, he weighed like 1.2 grams lighter.
Oh shit! Like the actual energy within a human being. Now, is the soul the essence, the energy within a human at the present moment?
The soul is inconceivable. Our brain is not equipped to even understand and to conceive the soul.
Mike, we can put that water into a cup for you, whatever way you decide
Not ready, babe. Not ready. I'm still sucking the power out of it.
Juicing it. Mike, I don't want to stay on psychedelics for too long because I'm interested, but I know you've made a lot of people's souls leave their body. Like you've done that multiple times. Iron Mike.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I know you had. I'm sure you had.
That guy's dead, man. Let's go somewhere else.
Was he not dead on November 28th? Was that Iron Mike in the ring just this past month?
Hell no.
Who was that? Was that the evolved version of Mike Tyson fighting Roy?
That was me just trying to improve myself as a person.
How so?
By challenging myself. I'm scared to death of going there. You don't think I'm scared, but so I said, after I did the toes, I said, you need to fight somebody.
That is what I heard. I heard that.
It said, you're a bitch. You need to fight somebody.
So, somebody had said that the toad or DMT was the reason that you got back into it. So that was actually
I was 300 fucking pounds. I lost 100 pounds.
That's crazy.
In 4 months.
Good for you.
And the toad was the catalyst to that.
There's no doubt about it. Hey, listen, I was doing cocaine. I was OD'd a couple of times. I gave up on life. I took the toad. I was on cocaine with the toad. I took the toad. Bow! You dumb motherfucker, you're dead. And when you lose your ego, you're a bitch. We need our ego to protect us because you separate the ego death. And you're scared to death.
And that's what they say psychedelics do the most of is kill that ego. Just
it's
burn
like
it down.
Cocaine
fuels
ignites the ego. And that's poison that ignites the ego.
Yeah.
Only drugs or whatever medicine we should take should humble the ego.
So post-fight, you're gonna carry that energy with you? You're gonna attempt to stay at your current weight, or you think you'll go back to the old lifestyle?
I just see some situations right now. Maybe I can't do this for 10 more years or so, but at this short increment of time, I can still do a lot and help a lot of people.
How do you aim to help people beyond talking about what's helped you? Like, is there any other way you're trying to help people?
I'm interested in the homeless. I'm interested in the sick, mentally ill.
When did you? I don't want to.
Fox tomorrow. Mayim Bialik is back.
No way!
In the premiere of Call Me Kat, fans and critics agree. We can't wait.
I'm not a hero.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
The premiere of Call Me Kat tomorrow after football on Fox.
I don't want to use the word lose, but there was definitely a point in your life where you really had a killer mentality. Man, like so I watched interviews of you saying some shit. Crazy. And it's clear that there was something that changed, something that shifted.
Well,
when was that and why?
The man that you was talking about before, he didn't have any self-respect, self-love. So he said anything. His ego, he was just, his ego was just so whacked out.
But given the profession of that man at the time, it worked out pretty well.
Oh, it was perfect for the times, huh?
I mean, there's nothing more exciting when a fighter says, he wants to eat his opponent's children.
I'm going to gut you like a fish. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I love to hit people. I love to. I think there's a lot of kids in this generation that don't know the bad man that Mike Tyson was, man. The scariest person to ever step foot in a boxing ring, ever.
I don't know. I don't look at him like you look at him.
How do you look at him?
He's a very scared little boy. Does that make sense to you? Mm-hmm.
Trying to prove himself, trying to show people that he's not scared, trying to
stay alive.
Do you think your opponents ever felt that? Do you think they ever sensed that?
Absolutely. But the energy of that scared little boy is so ferocious. Nothing can stop it.
Do you think there's a fighter that truly walks into that ring with absolutely no fear?
If he does, he's not going to be a good fighter.
Because fear fuels the fighter?
If you have an intellectual relationship with it.
Harris,
all has to be intellectual.
We have a track somewhere in engineering.
I guess it's that old adage, like, and what are you more afraid of? Like a wild dog in the field or a wild dog in the corner? Like that fear can push you to places and make you do things that you couldn't when your instincts kick in and you reach that primal point of...
It can make you a god.
Especially if you're doing a handful of fucking mushrooms. That's crazy. Dang. So when you were fighting back in the day, would you ever use psychedelics or anything to make you on this like enlightened?
Listen, I used to smoke a lot of weed, and I lost the Olympic trials, and I blamed it on my weed. So I stopped smoking weed in '84, all the way to like '98. I started smoking weed again.
Do you think that time off helped?
I don't know. I just know I wasn't as happy as I am now that I started smoking. I was a mean, ruthless type of guy when I didn't have marijuana. So I switched my addiction from marijuana to sex or drinking.
It's funny how if you have that addictive personality, it'll find something. It'll find something
Even
to
if
latch
it's
onto.
something good, a positive.
Yeah,
you
sure.
Find something to feed that energy. You gotta feed that empty hole.
Work. It could be work. It could be working out.
It probably was for him.
Yeah.
Boxing was one of the things, right? Like, did you loved boxing? I'm assuming you.
I wanted the old time fighters to respect me. That was my goal.
And they did. For sure they did. They absolutely did. They give you a ton of respect.
It's crazy how every fighter finds that fuel from different areas, you know? Were you thinking, or do you think the majority of the reason that you were fighting was for the love of the game? Do you think it was because you had to prove yourself?
Well, I didn't want to let my mother down.
Okay. And that's powerful. Because your dad wasn't in your life, correct?
No, but he's cool, but my mother really did a lot.
Yeah. Single?
Always going to the police station and get my ass out of crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she beat my ass so bad in front of the police.
You get in a lot of trouble?
All the time. I've been arrested 40 times before I was 12.
40?
Before you were 12?
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Troubled youth.
But she never turned her back on you. She was with you.
Oh, never. My mother's so humble and pride, and I'm arrogant. Oh man.
Where'd you get that from, though?
My father, probably.
Yeah.
Oh God. My mother, she's a Smith. They're proud people.
Yeah.
What kind of things can a 12-year-old do to go to prison?
I did burglaries.
Shoplifting, yeah.
No, shoplifting, burglaries. I wasn't running in that house. I only did burglaries, jostling, pickpocket, snatching jewelry, one-punch knockout, going in their pocket, or strong-arm robbery.
Yeah, because I heard at 12, you were like pretty much the same size that you are now.
Yeah. I was.
Just a grown-ass man.
Everybody thought I was going to be 7 foot, 6 foot.
He just got there and stayed there, and then just went sideways.
Oh my God, that'd have been terrifying.
Bro, I seen these
school with you,
bro. Oh, you ever get in fights at school?
No, he'd kill them.
No, but I'm sure he did.
In school I used to get my ass kicked, but once I really learned about fighting and stuff, I really kicked a lot of ass.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But who got you involved in boxing in the first place?
I was in an institution. I was locked up. I met this guy named Irish Bobby Stewart, and he used to train me. Once I got my grades up and I had to, submit.
Yeah.
He used to train me, and I was getting good. And one day, I think he had a black eye, or his nose got broken, and he was mad the next day. And I thought he was mad and wasn't going to box with me no more. But he was mad because his wife didn't want him to box with me. So he said, okay, I'm going to take you to this other place, and we're going to take you to the next level. And that's how I met Customato. And this guy turned me into a monster. This is why everybody thinks I'm this guy. This guy turned me into this guy. I was only a 12-year-old kid. This guy turned me into this monster.
What did it feel like at first when you first started fighting? Did you love it right away? Like
totally megalomaniac. I thought that was God. I thought no one could. Oh, because he told me I was. My mentor told me all this stuff, and everything he told me was right. I was beating the guy, knocking everybody out.
It's a hype man.
Yeah, no, he's more than a hype man. He's a psychologist. He's a mother. He's a father. He's a trainer. You know what I mean? He's a doc. He's so many things. He wears so many hats.
So when you started boxing and you found these mentors, did you start to, I use the word behave a little more? Did you get in less trouble now that you...
Yo, that's trouble because they had my mind. They had my interest. For some reason, they made me believe the heavyweight champion of the world was the biggest thing in the world. For some reason, they just made me believe that if you weren't heavyweight champion, you weren't shit.
Huh. Because I would see videos of you running on the street, and when I'm out there running and training, like, man, it can get lonely. It can get tough and demotivating sometimes. You're out there just running for hours on end, training. You have no social life. You have your friends are out partying, and you have to go to bed early. And it's cool and also fascinating that you were able to shift that troubled energy into this superior, incredible athlete at such a young age. You never had an interest to go back and fall back on your old habits, or because you were just so entranced by the sport?
I had a mentor that I idolized. I wanted to make him proud, so I gave up everything for him. If he told me to shoot somebody, I would shoot somebody.
No way.
No way.
This was the guy. This became
the leader.
Did he have you full psychological control?
Absolutely. But he gave me the control to see how I would conduct myself with it. I made mistakes. He checked me a lot of times.
What was the greatest moment in your career ever? Best thing you happened to you, best thing you ever lived in your whole life? As part of the career, up until...
I was 15. And I won the championships. And I was such a prima donna. And I fought somewhere in Rhode Island. And I fought this guy who was 25. And this was his last amateur fight. And he was the champion of all Rhode Island. So we fought. And it was such a tough fight. I was only 15. He was 25. And at the end of the game, they gave him the decision, right? When I came back, I cried all the way from Rhode Island to Catskill, New York. I thought Cuss was going to be sad, but when he came in the room, he said, I heard the guy was real smart and fast. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing he said. He said, I heard the guy was real smart and fast and experienced, and I heard you fought him real hard and smart. And I had a black guy and I went to school.
How much of you fighting was about winning versus just beating the shit out of the person in the ring?
It was about beating myself. To be able to accomplish the goals that I want. I made my own goal. I made all my goals delusional. And I turned my delusions into reality.
Did people laugh at you when you were 13, 14 years old, saying you want to be the heavyweight champ?
I was not my face.
Fair point. Fair point.
13-year-old Mike Tyson beating the shit out of like 20-year-olds.
Mike, as somebody that came up, worked their whole life just for one thing, to fight, to box, to win in the ring, what do you think? What are your thoughts on YouTube fighting? I've heard a couple clips, but what do you think about the idea of celebrities, YouTubers, entertainers getting into the ring?
I think that's the biggest thing and the biggest help for boxing in the history of boxing. You know, that shows the power of boxing, that it's spread into another field that doesn't even exist in the real boxing world, but it still has its place in boxing.
Do you think it does any, and this is just me just channeling words of commentators, do you think it does any disservice to the sport? Do you think that it in any way discounts the work?
Hey, there's been guys that cheated, took all the lead out of their gloves. I bit somebody's ear. So how low boxing's gonna go? Right. No, really.
Right.
Boxing's only going up.
Right.
You can't take it no lower. No, I'm serious. I'm not being funny. You can't take this is what you do when you can't do nothing else.
Yeah.
Now they do it for pride, but this game started only if you can't do nothing else. This is where you fuck up.
So you think this is necessary for the business, for the sport of boxing?
Absolutely. But these guys are college graduates. That's what makes it good. That's what brings it broadens horizons of boxing. It broadens people's horizons, and they understand boxing more as a skillful art, more so than some kind of brutality, a pugnacious pug around and just punching people.
Right. Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather. Let's talk about it. 2021, it's a couple months out.
Floyd's gonna beat his fucking ass. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. He's gonna fight back, though.
That's great.
He's gonna fight back. He's gonna
pull
fight
out
back.
all the money. All of the money, pull it out. Pull it out.
You don't think there's an opportunity to land a big punch on Floyd?
Let me tell you something about Floyd. This is what I don't like about him either. No matter whatever we say about him, and it could be true, but he's in that gym. He's a rat. He retired, but he stayed in the gym. He can't help it. He don't do drugs. That's his heroin. Gym.
Someone told me this. They said he doesn't have a vice. He doesn't have a vice.
No, he does. The gym.
The gym.
The gym.
What are you gonna do? So you don't think there's opportunity to land one big shot or a couple big shots?
He might let you hit him a couple times to make the show look good.
Oh my God!
You saying it'll all be an charity act? How much is it? What am I, a charity case for Floyd Mayweather?
No, you're not charity. You're challenging them. You're a man. You're not fucking charity. That's right. There's always a danger when two men go in the ring. Anything can happen.
Boom. That's all I need to hear.
That's all he's gonna clip. Everything else gets deleted.
I'm gonna cut the first thing you said. Not gonna make the podcast,
dude.
Not gonna make the podcast. That's
watching him in the ring with you, he's probably gonna be like the third round, and he's like, "Fool, you thought this was my final form?" And then just like just Super Saiyan 7, and he's like, it just knocks you out completely.
Is Floyd overrated, or is he one of the best ever? What is it about him that
what's so great about Floyd?
What is the thing?
The gym.
Just works.
It's tough to be hard work.
Listen, I think it might be an asshole being right. How can you not?
It's hard. Kanye West said it's hard to be humble when you're stunting on the jumbotron. That's one of his lyrics. Like, when you're the best, you just fucking.
But know what he needs to know too, that there's only one step from the limo to the gutter.
It's very true. Mike, you know it. You know it. For sure. $600 million you made in your career, they're saying. What happened to
That's so much money.
Mike, that's a lot of fucking money, Mike. That's
I had a lot of fucking fun.
Did you guys not just see the handful that he just put into his mouth? He had some fun.
$600 million.
Where'd most of it go? Because I'm from Connecticut. I know where your house, your old house, 50 Cent's house now, right? Does he still own it?
I have no idea.
But that house, what had movie theaters? What else in it?
Everything.
Was it West Hartford?
Somewhere.
He doesn't even know. It's like a $50 million. Like, I don't know. It's on one of my fucking houses. Who knows? Who gives a shit? Where did most of the money go? Houses or drugs, girls?
Planes, boat. It's stupid shit.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was funny.
Right. You don't regret any? Do you regret anything?
Yeah, and I didn't pay taxes really.
That'll get you. Yeah.
But they always come back.
I see you're going for the water.
Yeah.
30 minutes in.
They had finally reached their saturation point. You said,
you stop. You put the water on when you start feeling. You know that shit?
Yeah.
Like you got to move a little.
Yeah. Oh, this is about to get exciting.
Fire. Yeah, no, you had a sick house in Vegas.
Jones, today's update. After numerous demands, Marshal Waits finally called a public meeting to address the rumors that have been circulating on Sevastopol. But instead of the answers we wanted, he continued to be evasive, and after only a few minutes, he and his team were pelted by projectiles from an angry crowd. A gun was fired, there was panic, and now Waits and what's left of his team are forcibly ejecting us from the terminal. Feels like we're on our own now.
You had tigers. I remember the tigers were a big thing. Did you have any other exotic animals?
Lions.
You had tigers and lions?
Yeah.
Now, did you ever spar or move around with these beasts?
Yeah, look at your thing. Tyson fighting with his tigers.
He's like, it's there. You can find it.
With the tigers.
While he's searching that, speaking of money. I guess I should wait. I was gonna say you're on to a new thing now, which I think you're smoking, right? Is that your weed?
Yes, it is my weed. You can't try something?
I'm gonna pass today just because I'm kind of on.
Bitch ass nigga, man. Try the weed, man. I'm gonna take these. Try the motherfucking weed, nigga. Stop this shit, motherfucker.
They're pussies on that side of the table.
This is why. So I'm torn. I'm torn here. You a bitch,
man.
Bitch. I'm torn here because I have this whole clean streak after my addiction, but I also have Mike Tyson telling me that I have to smoke weed.
Wow.
And so I'm in a really tough spot.
No, you're dealing with addiction right now.
I'm 10 years clean.
Fuck that, nigga. This ain't shit. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you, bro. 10 years, 2010.
I really respect that. I know the best thing ever happened. I was in the recovery world. I'd be dead without that.
Yeah. Did you do AA? Did you do that?
Everything.
Yeah.
I've been in like 20 rehabs, that kind of shit.
It's a great world. You meet a lot of great people.
No, I was telling all the powerful people, everybody see me hanging out. I met them in the rehab. They said, Mike, how you know them? You mean them from the movie set? No, I met them in rehab. And I met everybody. How do you know them? I met them in rehab, motherfucker.
You have a lot of great conversations. You meet a lot of great people. There's a lot of great people
That's friends of mine to this day. I'm going to be friends of mine until I die.
And you hear shit in that program that you don't hear anywhere else, yo, from people that have been through it.
And you realize you're not the only one.
Yep.
There's people worse than you.
That's right.
And then you get humbled.
But that's what...
Because you go in there with the ego, man, they don't know what the fuck I'm going through, nigga. I'm doing this. My mother died. My father died. I'm on myself. I'm selling my body to these people. And then these people tell you some stuff and you say, fuck. Shit, I don't belong here. Shit. God damn. That's why they have the circle, because they want you to know that there's people worse than you. You ain't nobody. You ain't somebody special.
You going,
So I think about this. They always say that, someone's got it worse, or there's always like someone bigger than you. But surely there's someone who has it the worst. No?
I think it's all like perspective. It's crazy because when I hear about the sad stories, they handle it with such like meekness. And they could go through, and then I'm like, fuck, I would never be able to do it. So it's honestly about perspective and the shoes you're wearing and that road you're walking.
Yeah. Again, you have to look like this. Why people in the poorest country.
Let's take one deep breath together. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Headspace Guide to Meditation, now streaming, only on Netflix.
Happier than the people in the richest country. They have no expectations. We have expectations.
Yep.
If I don't get 100 million views, fuck out of here, my dad!
Right.
No, these guys just want a piece of banana.
They want to eat,
Listen,
live.
they're so hungry, they're starving so much they have no water in them. They can't, it's just crystal. There's no tears. Can't even cry.
Yeah.
So that's poverty when you can't even cry. That you're poor.
That's crazy. Then they see us and we're like, oh, we got 2 million views.
Stomachs all big and they're happy because they don't expect anything.
Right.
You know? I get mad if they're taking a long time with the food from the grocery. What the hell are they doing, man? I gotta go to the gym. I need to eat my breakfast before I go. That's some stupid stuff. Just to complain.
Ignorance is bliss.
Right.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss. That's what they say.
But who's ignorant? Or do we play we're ignorant because we don't want to deal with the problem that we see in front of us?
Sure. I think ignorance is all dependent on the scope of information you're willing to intake, where you grow up, the people you're surrounded by. I mean, ignorance, I don't think ignorance is always a bad thing, right? People say, oh, you're ignorant. Well, are you ignorant by choice? Or are you just ignorant because this is the life that I've lived and I haven't had the experiences that allow me to fully grasp what's happening? Ignorance is...
Does your ignorance, does it excel understanding?
That's what I'm saying.
Can you see somebody in need of help, and can your ignorance transcend to that?
Exactly.
If it could transcend to humbleness and compassion, then it's great. That's what it's all about, man. All this stuff is about compassion. You know, I had to learn the hard way.
Yep.
All about caring about other people other than ourselves.
I think ignorance is all a result of lack of experience. I think experience, trauma,
which can be your fault or not your fault.
That's some people just go through life and they never have to deal with anything, especially in America. You know,
the world's our school. The world teaches us to care, even though we may not do, but the world tells us to care. It tells us what to do.
That's why
it's up to us to do it.
That's why some of the people that have been through the most are the most charitable, because they know what it's like to be there, and so they want to help people out because they know exactly what it fucking feels like to be in that spot.
Well, and we live in a day nowadays with the computers. We really believe that money's gonna make us happy, and I say to my children sometimes, I say anybody that thinks a lot of money is gonna make them happy, they never had a lot of money.
Yeah, because it don't make you happy.
Yeah. Oh no, it's gonna make you miserable. It can turn you into a prick.
Yeah.
You know? It can make you hate yourself. You know?
Not to mention what you have to do to get it.
That's to get it,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about people discount that. I mean, to get a lot of money, you got to get a lot of money. It's the getting part that destroys you. It's the neglecting the family. It's all that shit. Spending your entire life.
The way you may conduct yourself. You may say things to people because it's your business to be confrontation. You may say things that are really below the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bothers you after you say it.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. And you wouldn't want, and you're so embarrassed when it's on television now your kids have to see that shit. You know, that's what my regrets are.
And it made sense at the time because you were like, this is going to make me money. This is going to get me the next fight.
No. I used to thought I was tough. My insecurity comes out.
Yeah.
When I start talking about the baddest man since the creation of God and all that, that's that insecurity. That's the little scared boy. I want everybody to be afraid and stay away from me.
But also, were you wrong? Were you not? You kind of might have been the baddest man since the creation of God.
No, I just those are the words I spit out when I'm afraid. Ain't that something?
I don't want to be the guy that pushes you back towards that, but what if you were a very powerful fighter, Mike? Maybe you weren't completely wrong about that.
I just know God is great now.
Do you hate being happy?
Excuse me?
Do you hate being happy?
What is that?
In the interview, I read you said, I hate being happy. I'm happy all the fucking time.
I don't know. What's the concept of happiness? Is happiness allowing other people to see that you're happy? Or are you projecting the image that you're happy? What is happiness? Does it really exist, or is it just the word that we throw out? What is fucking happiness?
What is happiness? Is happiness the absence of worry?
Fucking happy.
You know, and yeah. And maybe perhaps happiness is just the absence of worry.
But the question is that
worry doesn't make life interesting. If you worry, how can life be interesting? You gotta worry.
Yeah.
Life sucks if you don't worry.
But the
You're a
question,
zombie if you don't worry.
the question he's asking though is I think in today's day and age, people have gotten so obsessed with creating a perception of happiness. My Instagram page makes me look happy, but a lot of people aren't really happy. They're not actually happy. They're not doing things that make them feel actually fully happy.
Well, that's because sometimes we don't know.
Right.
I don't listen. What really makes me happy? Was the back in that ring really make me happy? Or did I want to transcend my ego to another level in society? Tell me, what was that, you know?
Are you happy now? Are you happy today?
I'm very grateful. I used to like the fucking
word. Okay, got it. Got it. So that goes back to his question. Yeah.
All right. So when you won the heavyweight title at age 20, you completed your goal, or just like any incredible feat that you've done. What was the feeling? Was it gratitude? Was it bliss? Was it ecstasy?
No, it was 7 years of hard training and discipline.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's a big moment.
It was just really discipline. And all my life, since I met Cuss, all my life, you may see my fight. That's the end of the fight. I'm the best fighter in the world. There's no one can beat me. I'm the best fighter in the world. I'm the best fighter in the world. It was just so embedded in my mind, my heart, my feet. Since I was a kid, and I only just got 13. The best fighter in the world. The best fighter since the creation of God. The best fighter this. The best. Whoa, blowing my fucking mind.
Did you have a what now moment? We talk about this sometimes. When you train so hard and you work so hard to do or complete or achieve a goal, and then you get it done. What now? Were you lost?
No, I was lost once I won the title. I was lost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So after you won, where do you go? Where do you go from there?
Then I changed into this other guy where I want to really just hurt people and want to go down in legendary fashion. And I'm really conscious of my preeminence in the sport.
I think you did a good job of that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Did you have a moment where maybe you questioned how good you were, or you started to doubt yourself?
No, never doubt myself, but sometimes I doubt my humanity.
It's not such a bad thing. That seems pretty
reasonable to doubt it. Yeah, but you want to make sure, you want to keep that kind of thing in check. You got boiled down for your whole life as you just